Refraction at plane surface. Introduction. Light exhibits many interesting phenomena. When the object is a few inches from the wall, it appears distorted and you will see a reflected image in the wall as through the wall were a mirror. To answer the above questions and to give reasons for the situations mentioned, we need to understand the phenomenon of reflection of light. Refraction. Take a shallow vessel with a opaque walls such as a mug. Place a coin at the bottom of the vessel. Move away from the vessel until you cannot see the coin. Stand there. Ask your friend to fill the vessel with water. When the vessel is filled with water, the coin comes back into view. Fermat's principle, which states that the light ray always travels between the 2 points in a path which needs the shortest possible time to cover. By observing the path of the ray, it is clear that the light ray changes its direction at the interface separating the two media, that is, water and air. The speed of the light changes when light propagates from one medium to another medium. The process of changing speed at an interface when light travels from one medium to another, resulting in a change in direction, is refraction of light. The process of refraction involves bending of light ray except when it is incident normally. Consider that light travels from medium I-ish speed v1 to medium 2 with speed v2 as shown in figures. Experiments showed that refraction occurs due to change in the speed of the light in the medium. If V2 is less than V1, then medium 2 is said to be denser with respect to medium 1. If V2 is greater than V1, then medium 2 is said to be rarer with respect to medium 1. If light ray enters from rarer medium to denser medium, then refracted ray moves towards the normal drawn at the interface of a separation of two media. When it travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from normal. Let I be the angle made by incident ray with normal and R be the angle made by refracted ray with normal. These angles are called angle of incidence and angle of refraction respectively. To explain the process of refraction, we need to know about a constant called refractive index, which is the property of the transparent medium. The extent of the change in direction that takes place when a light ray propagates through one medium to another medium is expressed in terms of refractive index. Refractive index. Light travels in vacuum with a speed nearly equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. The speed of light is smaller than c in other transparent media. Let v be the speed of the light in a certain medium. Then the ratio of speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in that medium is defined as refractive index n. It is called absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index is equal to speed of light in vacuum by speed of light in medium. N is equal to C by V. Equation 1. It is dimensionless quantity because it is a ratio of same physical quantities. The refractive index of glass is 3 by 2. Then the speed of light in glass is 2 by 3 of 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Refractive index of some material media. Material medium refractive index: air 1.0003, ice 1.31, water 1.33, kerosene 1.44, fused quartz 1.46, turpentine oil 1.47, crown glass 1.52, benzene 1.50, kentobalazam 1.53, rock salt 1.54, carbon disulfide 1.63, dense fine glass 1.65, ruby 1.71, sapphire 1.77. Relative refractive index. The refractive index of the medium with respect to another medium is defined as the ratio of speed of light in first medium to the speed of light in second medium. Let V1 and V2 be the speed of the light in first and second media respectively. Then, refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium is given by N21 is equal to speed of light in medium minus 1 by speed of light in medium minus 2. N21 is equal to V1 by V2 dividing both numerator and denominator by C, we get N21 is equal to V1 by C by V2 by C is equal to 1 by N1 by 1 by N2, implies N21 is equal to N2 by N1, equation 2. This is called relative refractive index. We define relative refractive index as follows. Relative refractive index N21 is equal to refractive index of second medium N2 by refractive index of first medium N1. Relation between angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Take a wooden plank which is covered with white chalk. Draw two perpendicular lines passing through the middle of the paper as shown in the figure. Mark one line as NN, which is normal to the another line marked as MM. Now place semicircular glass disc so that its diameter coincides with a interface line MM and its center coincides with the point O. Point a laser light log NN in such a way that laser propagates from air to glass through the interface at point O and observe the way of laser light coming from other side of disc as shown in the figure. Send laser light along a line which makes 15 degrees with NN and see that it must pass through point O. Measure its corresponding angle of reflection by observing laser light coming from other side of the glass slab. Find sin I, sin R for every I and R and evaluate sin I by sin R for every incident angle I. Finally, we will get the ration sin I by sin R as a constant ratio. This ratio gives the value of refractive index of glass. What happens when light ray travels from denser medium to rarer medium. Take a metal disc. Use protractor and mark angles along its edges. Arrange two straws from the center of the disc in such a way that they can be rotated freely about the center of the disc. Adjust one of the straws to the angle 10 degrees. Immerse half of the disc vertically into a water filled in a transparent vessel. While dipping, verify that the straw at 10 degrees must be inside the water. From the top of the vessel, try to view the straw which is inside the water. Then adjust the other straw which is outside of the water until both straws appears to be in a single straight line. Then take the disc out of the water and observe the two straws on it. You will find that they are not in a single straight line. Measure the angle between the normal and second straw. You will observe that in above activity, R is greater than I. In all cases, that means when light travels from water to air, it behaves in an opposite way. From this activity, when the light ray travels from denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal and R is greater than I. Snell's law. Let us imagine that a person has fallen out of a boat and it's screaming for help in the water at point B as shown in the figure. The line marked through point X is the shore line. Let us assume that we are at a point A on the land of the shore and we saw an accident. In order to save the person, we need to travel certain distance on land and certain distance in water. We know that we can run faster on land than that we swim in water. First look at the path of the land as shown. If we draw a perpendicular DE between two paths at D, we see that the path AD on land is shortened by the amount EC. On the other hand, in the water, by drawing a corresponding perpendicular CF, we find that we have to go the extra distance DF in water. In other words, we gain a time is equal to go through distance EC on land, but we lose the time that is equal to extra distance DF in the water. These times must be equal since we assumed there no change in time between two paths. Let the time taken by the man to travel from E to C and D to F be delta T and V1 and V2 be the speeds of the running and swimming. From figure, we get sin I is equal to EC by DC and sin R is equal to DF by DC. Therefore, sin I by sin R is equal to EC by DF. Equation 1. Sin I by sin R is equal to V1 by V2. Equation 2. Thus, to save the person, one should take such a path to satisfy the above equation. We used the principle of least time to derive the above result. Hence, we can apply the same for the light ray also. From equation 2, we get sin I by sin R is equal to V1 by V2 is equal to N2 by N1. Since V1 by V2 is equal to N2 by N1, implies N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. This is called Snell's law. Total internal reflection. When the angle of the incidence is greater than the critical angle, the light ray gets reflected into denser medium at interface, that is, light never enters to rarer medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. Example, a rectangular glass wedge is immersed in the water as shown in the figure. For what value of the angle, alpha will be the beam of light which normally incident on AB reach AC entirely as shown in the figure. Take the refractive index of water as 4 by 3 and the refractive index of glass is 3 by 2. Solution. From the geometry of figure, it is clear that the angle of incidence on the side BC is equal to alpha. The ray should undergo total internal reflection to reach AC. For occurrence of total internal reflection, the value of alpha must be greater than critical angle at interface of water and glass. Let C be the critical angle at the interface of glass and water. From the given condition, alpha is greater than C. Equation 1. We know sin C is equal to 1 by N12. Equation 2. N12 is equal to N1 by N2 is equal to 3 by 2 by 4 by 3 is equal to 9 by 8. From equation 2, we get sin C is equal to 8 by 9 implies C is equal to 62 degrees 30 inches. Mirages. Mirage is an optical illusion where it appears that water is collected on the road at a distant place, but when we get there, we don't find any water. During the hot summer day, air just above the road surface is very hot and the air at higher altitudes is cool. We know that refractive index of air increases with density. So, the cooler air at the top has greater refractive index than hotter air just above the road. Light travels faster through the thinner hot air than through the denser cool air above it. When the light from the tall object such as tree or from the sky passes through a medium just above the road whose refractive index decreases towards ground, it suffers refraction and takes a curved path because of total internal reflection. This refracted light reaches the observer in a direction shown in the figure. This appears to the observer that the ray is refracted from ground. Hence, we feel the illusion of water being present on road, which is the virtual image of sky and an inverted image of tree on the road. Applications of total internal reflection. Number 1. Brilliance of diamonds. Total internal reflection is the main cause for brilliance of diamonds. The critical angle of diamonds is very low, 24.4 degrees. So, if a light ray enters into a diamond, it is very likely to undergo total internal reflection, which makes the diamond shine. Number 2. Optical fibers. Total internal reflection is the basic principle for working of optical fiber. An optical fiber is very thin fiber made of glass or plastic having radius about a micrometer 10 to the power of -6 meters. A bunch of some thin fibers forms a light pipe. All organs of the human body are not accessible to the naked eye of the doctor. For example, intestines. The doctor inserts an optical fiber pipe into a stomach through the mouth. Light is sent down through one set of fibers in the pipe. This illuminates the inside of the stomach. The light from the inside travels back through another set of the fibers in the pipe and the viewer gets the image at the outer end. The other important application of fiber optics into transmit communication signals through light pipes. Refraction through a glass slab. A thin glass slab is formed when a medium is isolated from its surroundings by two plane surfaces parallel to each other. Ri is equal to thickness of the slab by thickness of the slab minus vertical shift.
మా వీడియో కనుక మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే లైక్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి. ఇలాంటి మరిన్ని వీడియోస్ కోసం మా ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోవడం మాత్రం మర్చిపోకండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ వాచింగ్.